Hey guys, I'm coming to you from the future just really quick here. I know this video is going to be a little bit long, but just scroll down into my description and you'll see a timeline where you can skip to all of the points that matter to you. Now, back to the video. Hey everybody, today I just received some Slip2000 products, and what I want to do today is actually see how good it will clean after shooting about, I'd say at least 3,000 rounds through this P320X5 that I use in competition. And they also claim that after you clean and lube it with Slip2000, that it'll be a lot easier and faster to clean it again. So let's check it out. Alright, so just real quick, you can see how dirty this P320X5 is after shooting approximately 3,000 rounds, I'd say. I haven't cleaned it in over a month, maybe 2 months, and I've went to the range 3 or 4 times and had a couple competitions and didn't clean it because I really wanted to get it really dirty. And this firearm was cleaned with another product and lubed with another product prior to this. So what I want to do now is use Slip2000 to clean everything off, see how well that does. And then also the second half of the video will be after I've lubed it up and clean it again, just to see if it is actually easier to clean. So you can see all this gummed up carbon on there in the FCU, for example, on the edges. This is the dirtiest I've ever seen it get because I typically never let it get this dirty. On the inside of the slide, you can see how it's not even lubed anymore, or I mean it's lubed, but it seemed to have like turned into a thicker grease now with all of the carbon and everything from the rounds. On the barrel, you can even see how gummed up the feed ramp is getting and the chamber as well. So let's see what I've got in the box. So I have this Ultrasonic Ultra Clean. It's called Ultra Clean. It's for ultrasonic cleaners. I've got a big bottle of Carbon Killer. Now they say Carbon Cleaner cleans a little bit more effectively and it's a little bit stronger and better as far as really trying to get your firearms clean, but it's not as safe for finishes, they say. But you can try it and see if it works for you. But something more specific and designed for ultrasonic cleaners is this Ultra Clean. So we'll use this today. And I also have the 725 Gun Cleaner Degreaser. So for little things. I say little things is like quick jobs or whatever, you want to spray it on the gun and wipe it down. And if you don't use an ultrasonic cleaner, then that's what you would use, the gun cleaner. All right, and then I also have this EWL 30 heavy duty weapons lubricant, the normal standard gun lube, the EWL extreme weapons lubricant. Now the difference between that one and the 30 is that this is going to be a little bit thicker, so it's not going to drip and run as much if you want the oil to stay put. Also, I've got this EWG. It's called the Extreme Weapons Grease. Now, I don't really use grease in my firearms, but we'll see if I can find a good use for it. Let's just read it real quick. EWG offers extreme pressure properties that are guaranteed to reduce friction and wear on those extreme weapons. Will not attract dust, dirt, or powder fouling like most petroleum-based products. See, now that was the big reason why I didn't want to use grease, is because it attracts a lot of that stuff, but this says it doesn't. So maybe we can try it. Maybe in the slide rails or something, or it's probably better for rifles or things like that, maybe shotguns too, semi-auto shotguns where you have the spring and pistons and stuff like that. Smooth, clean operation in extreme cold, -65 degrees Fahrenheit, and will hold up under extreme heat, 750 degrees Fahrenheit as well. Does not contain Teflon or PTFE additives. So I guess I'm kind of excited to use this. Maybe it'll change my opinion about grease. Okay, and what is this stuff? These look like an assortment of gun wipes. 5 of those it looks like, and okay, just some stickers. So these gun wipes say that they protect against corrosion, displaces moisture, prevents rust, removes fingerprints, lubricates and cleans, long-lasting protection, does not attract dust, dirt, or sand, non-toxic, non-hazardous, and one 5-inch by 8-inch wipe is treated with Slip2000 synthetic gun lube. Use it to wipe your guns down, apply to all metal surfaces, great for light carbon cleaner, safe for all firearm stocks and grips. And let's see, Slip2000 gun lube cleans, lubricates, and protects. It is 100% pure synthetic lubricant that does not contain any Teflon, petroleum, or silicone. It bonds with metal and forms a protective barrier that keeps carbon from sticking and buildup. So these are some cool things that I think I'll keep in my range bag, so that when I'm out on the range I could probably just quickly wipe things down so that you can kind of reduce the frequency of cleaning. All right, let's get started here. As you can see, I've already showed you that I've taken the firearm apart, and I think what I want to use now is, instead of just dumping it all in the ultrasonic cleaner, I want to wipe it down so that I can reuse the fluid from the ultrasonic fluid for further firearms. So I always want to, no matter what I'm using, and it's not that I don't trust the Slip2000 can't clean it. I mean, I actually never tried it, the ultrasonic version of what they make, but it's not that I don't trust it, it's just that I want to make sure everything gets the most value out of it as far as longest lasting. So that's pretty cool there. So this 725 gun cleaner degreaser is working super easy, super fast. Heck, maybe I don't even need an ultrasonic cleaner, but dang, I didn't even have to rub like I typically do, like back and forth, to kind of really scrape some off. But I mean, that just ate it all up. I don't know if it dissolved it or what, but it just ate it all up. And yeah, that is getting it really clean, really fast, little effort, minimal effort. Definitely not going to complain about that. And what I'm noticing is that when you wipe this down, it's not really leaving behind a slippery, greasy feeling, which I like too, because then it's a little bit easier to wipe off later. But what does it say, by the way? It's a biodegradable non-solvent solution. This product contains high quality surfactants, wetting agents, emulsifiers, and 725 contains no petroleum type solvents. This product is non-flammable and contains no toxic materials. This industrial strength water-based cleaner / degreaser was designed with your health and safety in mind. So I don't have to wear gloves, but I'm wearing gloves just in case, just so that you guys can see when I'm touching the firearm how much dirt also comes off of it. Safe on all steel, rubber, plastic, sealed wood, and other materials. Let's see, directions. Spray on the surface to be cleaned. I sprayed on the rag, but you can spray it on the surface. This product will cut grease, oils, and carbon very quickly, and yes, it does. As I just instantly found out, I just wiped it down very lightly, and you already saw the amount of dirt that came off. Wipe or rinse product area from cleaned area. This is a water-based cleaner, so always apply Slip2000 lubricant to guns after cleaning to prevent rusting or corrosion. That's what you have to be careful. When I mentioned there was like no evidence of how slippery or oils are left behind, it's because it's a water-based, and I do have an air compressor, so when I'm done cleaning everything with the ultrasonic cleaner stuff, I'll use the pressured air or the compressed air just to clean out all the nooks and crannies as well, just make sure there's no water, and then I'll go ahead and lube it down. So let's get another wipe here. Maybe this time I'll spray it in here. Probably you don't even need that much, and it sprays pretty good. Okay, you can see how clean that's getting things. That's what I really like about it. I'm barely even wiping things down, and you can see how nasty that is. But getting a lot of this heavy stuff off now will keep the ultrasonic cleaner cleaner longer, and you can reuse it. Do the FCU, and then we'll get ready for the ultrasonic bath. Look at that. I mean, another good thing is that this is really shiny, slippery metal here, so stuff comes off pretty good. If you look in there how dirty it is, all that buildup right on that black block there, that's insane. Okay, now also with the barrel, what I like to do before I clean it is run the bore snake through it about 5 times dry, and you'll see how much more clean and less cleaning you have to do in the barrel. So that removes so much powder and all kinds of stuff in there, especially in the rifling, and then that'll also make your cleaning of the barrel a lot easier in the ultrasonic cleaner. By the way, I have these Q-tips. I wanted to get into some tinier areas of, like, the slide, for example. The ejector is super grimy. Now the interesting thing about this, I mean, it's not interesting, but it's that this gun has went through so many rounds and got all this carbon buildup with 0 malfunctions. I've never had any malfunctions with how dirty this has been. in competition or out on the range. So this firearm is super reliable, extremely reliable, and highly suggested by me, I would say. Now I'm going to take everything out here, the firing pin and the ejector and all that stuff too, to really get it clean. Let's get in here a little bit. Look at that. That's what was on top of that spot in the FCU. That's just some thick, caked on stuff there. Now imagine that clogging up your ultrasonic solution, making it extremely dirty. Okay, I think that is good for that. Let's go ahead and take apart the slide. This is one thing I really like about SIG is how simple the slide comes apart. There you have it. Let's go ahead and throw a Q-tip down in there. A couple sprays, maybe 3 sprays. I'm really liking how simple and easy and quick this is. My plan is to not let it get this dirty anymore, because it'll make cleaning a little bit faster. You don't have to do so much deep cleaning. But I wanted to get it dirty, as I mentioned, just to see how good Slip2000 can really clean your firearms. Look at that. Okay, that's good. This is not even that dirty. We'll throw it in the ultrasonic bath. Here's the slide. We'll do that off camera. It's just a slide. Pretty easy, just wipe it down. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the ultrasonic cleaner out and get this started, okay? Okay, before we put this in there, let's just read it real quick. This says, this is a concentrated mixture product, mixed 4:1 to make 7:5 cleaner. Mix concentrate to desired strength, then fill ultrasonic cleaner, make sure all parts in solution are completely submerged. This is a water-based cleaner, will remove all metal protection. Be sure to relube all clean parts with Slip2000 lubricant to prevent rusting or corrosion. Okay, let's pour it in there. So you don't have to use a lot. It is a concentrate. So what I like to do is there's a min line on here for minimum and then a max line. So for the rest of it, I just get out some fancy dancy distilled water to fill it up to the max. So that's about my 1/4 anyway. Now we will dump. Now the slide's too long to fit completely in there, so I'll have it halfway in like this diagonally and then flip it the other way like this, okay? The barrel will fit in there. Guide rod, actually, you know, this guide rod and spring, super easy to clean. I can do that myself. No nooks and crannies. Main thing is get that fire control unit in there. And what else? Throw in the ejector spring and ejector and this cap. And okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And let's see how dirty it, or how clean it gets. We'll put it for 10 minutes. So it also heats up as well. Wow. Are you catching all of that cloudiness? It just blasted away. I mean, that's partly the Ultrasonic and also the Slip2000. Now it's gotten so cloudy you can't even see any of the bottom. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and let this run for a few cycles. Like I said, after 10 minutes, I'll flip the slide around and then we'll see how good of a job this is done, okay? All right, so the ultrasonic cleaner is done, and I've already cleaned the grip with the Slip2000. Everything came out super clean as expected, and I already pulled the slide out of the ultrasonic cleaner and sprayed it down with the compressed air and got all the nooks and crannies clean. What I like to use is some isopropyl rubbing alcohol to kind of displace all of that watery cleaner so that nothing rusts. So I spray that in there and I blast it with the compressed air, and everything is dry, there's no rust, and it's looking good. So let's take a look and see how everything else looks in the bath here. So this is the FCU, and it is super shiny and clean. There's no more dirt or grime in this FCU unit here, and everything back here looks super clean. So I'm very satisfied with that, it looks brand spanking new right now. Let's see what else we got in here. We got the barrel, okay. I had a lot of dirt on the feed ramp, back in here, on the sides, on the fenders. Turn off that. And yeah, wow, that's amazing. Looking through the barrel, super shiny. It's the end cap to the slide. Here's the ejector spring. Nice and shiny and clean here on the edges. This is the actual ejector. And that looks like maybe a little bit of the finish came off there. I don't know. We'll take a look at that later, but not a big deal to me. Maybe eventually I'll go to chrome and it'll look pretty sweet in the gun. But it's super clean here in those corners and on those edges. That's important for good proper feeding. And here is the firing pin. Super duper shiny as well. And I don't think there's anything else in here. So right now I'm very impressed by that. It does feel a little bit oily, but and you can see some oil in here. I think that's obviously just the other oil that was on the gun before I was cleaning it. So that's it. I'll go ahead and clean these up with some rubbing alcohol like I mentioned and some compressed air, and we'll put everything back together. So in the next half of this video, I will have already shot a few thousand rounds again, and we're going to see how easily this stuff wipes up after putting all of the Slip2000 lube products on, okay? Because that's what they said. If you clean it with Slip2000 and then use some of this EWL oil and all that other stuff, nothing should stick and things should be easily wipeable from all of the surfaces. All right, this is part number 2 of the video. I know it's a little bit long, sorry about that, but just go to my description and in there you'll see a timeline and you can find all of the subjects or points that matter to you and just click on that and watch that. So part 1 was filmed in July. It is now September, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to get this firearm really dirty, this P320X5 that I cleaned in part 1, right? And it's definitely got about 3,000 rounds through it. So the test basically now in part 2 is, I won't be cleaning it because we all know how good Slip2000 Products clean these. Now I just want to see how much of it I can rub off after putting Slip2000 on it. They claim that once you apply Slip2000 to all parts of the firearm, all future cleanings are a lot easier and quicker to clean, a lot faster, right? So I've got some patches. I got the EWL Slip2000 gun oil. And what they say is, you could just try to wipe it off, wipe off the existing dirt, oil, and grime and all that, or put Slip2000 gun oil on a patch and wipe it off. But I guess we'll try first without, and then put it on, right? So I'm starting with the barrel right now. You can already see, yeah, of course, it's sliding off of the main surfaces. And one of the big things, though, is this feed ramp here. And wow, okay. One light rub, and basically the feed ramp is cleaned. A little bit air there at the bottom. Okay, got it with my fingernail with light pressure. And you can already tell that, let's get in there. You can already tell this is almost in a good clean state. Now the rifling inside the barrel, obviously you're not going to be able to clean that out without additional stuff. But if I wanted to, I could put this back in there and keep shooting it for a little bit longer. Let's take a look at the slide and then we'll get to the FCU because the slide is also quite dirty. You can see all of the dirt in there. If I don't get it all pretty good with just a dry patch, I'll go ahead and put the Slip2000 on it. So I pay attention to that corner there because I just wiped off a huge bunch of it. And now you can see, I think, that is quite clean. You can see how much rubbed off. And let's see if I can do a test real quick. I'll try to get this as clean as I can without Slip2000 and then take a clean rag or clean patch with Slip2000 oil on it and see if I get additional amounts. And if I don't, then that pretty much proves or shows that this stuff does hold up to what they claim as far as keeping or making your firearms easier to clean the second time. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit more. But not a lot more, I don't think. It's probably because now I've gotten into the rails with my fingernail. But wow, if you keep the Slip 2000 on the patch, it definitely makes everything else come off really easy. Okay, that's enough of that. I'll clean that deeper later. And then next here, we have the FCU. We'll try, this is kind of, still pretty oily and greasy. Wipe it with the clean, dry patch. And that's all shiny up right now. Shinying up? What's the word there? Shiny up? Shinying up. It's probably not even a word, but I can invent it, I guess, right? It's all the dirt. Big issues are on the inside. Now, if you remember part 1, this down in here was super grimy with tons of this thick crud on there. See how it like just flakes off and crumbles? Yep. So now I'm doing it without any cleaner, and that is really getting a lot of that out of there without any effort. So I think the lesson here, the takeaway is that if I were to start cleaning this more frequently in between shooting versus waiting until it gets super dirty and then doing it, you would actually keep your firearm cleaner for longer with even less effort than what I'm doing now, because there'd be less dirt and grime from shooting, right? Obviously, I can't get into there with the rag, but yeah, you could just put some more oil on there if you wanted to keep going. Yeah, actually, I'm impressed. So Slip 2000 definitely makes your cleanings a lot easier and faster for all the follow-up cleanings afterwards after you use the products. One more thing, let's go ahead and just put a little bit of oil on there now. This was the dry patch on the FCU. Inside, it's getting really clean. Obviously, my fingers don't fit in between all these nooks and crannies, but do the best you can if you're just doing a quick light cleaning. And you probably don't even need to use the degreaser or cleaner fluid if you do really regular maintenance with the EWL. I mean, you will need to use the cleaner eventually to get in deeper where all the nooks and crannies are, but if you wanted to do a quick range day cleaning or a quick cleaning after raining, this stuff works great. Also, really quick, my last competition back in August, it was pouring down rain, and I was really nervous about the firearm rusting and getting wet and all of that stuff. But when I came home, I knew that I already had applied a lot of Slip 2000 oil and everything on the outsides and internals, and I came home and I took apart the gun and I noticed no water and no rust forming at all. So definitely this stuff is a lifesaver if you're shooting out in the rain. So if you're going to different competitions or if you're going to gun classes or things like that where the weather might be a little bit iffy, you can always trust this Slip 2000 EWL or Slip 2000 products to protect your firearms during all kinds of wet and humid conditions. Now, if we look at the grip, you can see that is quite oily and dirty. Take a dry patch, and that cleans up super easy and super fast. Okay, a couple more things before I end this video is a couple of tips. So in part 1 of the video, I saved the Slip 2000 Ultrasonic cleaner with water solution in this cool little Tupperware container. And I'm about to clean this firearm, so I already poured the solution that I had previously back into the Ultrasonic cleaner because it can be reused multiple times. And I wanted to show you that a lot of the contaminants, oops, it's dripping out, is at the bottom of the container. So if you pour slowly back into the Ultrasonic cleaner, you'll continue to keep all of the dirty contaminants in this container, wipe it out, and then do the same thing all over again. So that'll help keep your solution cleaner longer for more cleanings. Another thing about trying to get the solution out of the Ultrasonic cleaner into one of these is that I got one of these large syringes off of Amazon, and this will definitely help you prevent a lot of spilling and spillage of the Ultrasonic cleaner that I have, for example, because I can't take out the basin and pour it in directly. So every time I was doing it with the Ultrasonic cleaner into this, then I was spilling and getting a mess everywhere. So this might be a good tip for you guys. You'll just suck out the solution as many times as you need and pour it in here. Maybe you could put a coffee filter at the tip of this, or you can just put a funnel in this with a coffee filter and put it in that, and at the end of the day, at least you have some sort of filtered clean liquid. All right, that about does it for this video. I've got nothing else for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about the Slip2000 product, please write in the comments section and provide any kind of questions and feedback there. If you guys want a discount code for 10% off of Slip2000s, check the description and use my code Delta Alpha Bravo. So thanks a lot for watching. Tune in to the next video, because in that video, I'll be using the Slip2000 on this super extremely dirty compensator from my Mark IV 22/45 Lite. We'll be using the carbon killer and really doing a torture test on that Slip2000 to see if it really does what it claims.